Y'all pull up. Y'all pull up. Y'all join in. Y'all join in. Y'all join in. Come see us. Come see us. Come talk to us. I had an interesting conversation this weekend as I wait for my boy to join. I had an interesting conversation this weekend as I wait for my boy to join. Dude came and told me pretty much I wasn't doing a good job DJing, and I had to get in my bag. But that brings me to pretty much not just because somebody says something negative, you don't have to fly off the handle with it. You feel me? Sometimes you just get. I got in my bag and I started DJing. He started yelling, "I take it back! I take it back!" No, let me cook. Let me cook. And I did my thing. So that was fire. My boy trying to pull up to the show. There you go. There you go. There you go. Um, did you hear my
You got your bars off?
who me?
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't say I got my balls off, but I cooked.
Okay.
I cooked.
Cool. I'm glad.
I
I'm
cooked.
happy to. I'm happy to hear it, my brother.
I mean, thank you, man. We missed last week. We here now. We here for y'all now. That's part of the reason I missed last week. We'll get into that in a second. Can y'all see my face? Can y'all see my face? I'm a handsome brother. You can't hide my face if y'all. You feel me? So yeah.
Oh, that's
Yo,
that. That's Devon. You giving Devon energy. It's Devon energy tonight.
what is it?
Nothing,
What
bro.
is
Go
it
ahead.
called?
Go ahead.
What's it
No,
called? No,
it's
what is it
good.
called? I want to hear what
Go,
it's
go
called.
ahead. No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. We
Nah,
haven't unleashed that. We haven't unleashed that yet. And I don't think we're ready to. We haven't unleashed
why
that
you
yet.
putting my government out here and
I'm
shit?
just saying we haven't unleashed that yet, and we're not there yet. We'll give it to y'all eventually. Hang around with us.
Y'all not gonna get it. Is that
Yeah.
energy is for one person and one person only. You feel me?
Nah, but it
Cook.
pops. It rears its ugly ass head here on this eight on
Yeah,
this
but it's
ATL
still
once in a while.
it's always see that's not the energy I was
Oh,
given. That
yeah.
energy is
All
for
right.
one person and one person
Okay.
only.
Does that person is that person aware that I just unvolved some shit that you're gonna have to explain later tonight?
Oh no. She knows what the energy is, and she's actually
But
one of
she.
she's the only person that calls me that at times.
Oh, okay. Cool. So she's aware. She's aware. Cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. You know the vibes.
I
But yo,
get.
listen.
I get. Listen.
Yo. Welcome to the All Done Podcast. I'm DJ Shakes, the chosen one. This brother with me is the Ball Gag King. Tracy, what's good, my brother?
I mean, I've been searching for nicknames, and I mean, since we are on this podcast, always putting out our sexual exploits, I guess I could be the ball
No,
gag
we're
king.
not. See, that's the thing. We're not usually doing that. That's not
I
a
feel
regular thing.
like didn't we come to a realization that you like to lick toes? Like we've come to
No,
some
that's it.
realizations here. We've
Uh,
come to some realizations here. We have come to
no,
some
we've
realizations.
never come to that realization. I don't
Are
care
you
how long we've
sure?
been in the show. I am positive.
Okay,
I am
damn.
positive, and
I
that
take
is
it.
not. See, no,
Okay,
no,
all right.
no.
You're my
Don't make stuff
man's.
up, bro.
You're
See,
my.
what
You're
you
my.
said was said on air. Like everybody heard you say that. We got clips of that.
Okay.
I've never said such a thing.
Okay.
I'm a
Hey,
very
listen.
private person, actually.
All
So,
right, Mr. Private. Here we go. Mr. Private. Go ahead, Mr.
man,
Private.
so now
You
just to
get your
let
shit
y'all
off.
know, we wasn't here for y'all last week, and um, fun fact, I DJ'd my first wedding, and
Shout out to my boy.
that was a fire experience. I was scared as hell. I was nervous beforehand. My hands were shaking, because that's somebody's special day, and you don't want to be the reason that their special day is messed up.
No doubt.
And it was dope. So last Wednesday, I had to have a meeting with the bride or whatever, the bride and groom, about their music selections and stuff like that. So that's why we wasn't here last week, but we here tonight. We here tonight,
We are here
and
tonight.
we here.
Where you want to start? I mean, we missed
Huh?
last week. Where you want to start? We
First of
missed last
all,
week. Where you want to start?
once again, like speaking of, I'm gonna start out with a shout out. Shout out to
Shout
my good
outs.
friend Toya, because that's who got me booked for the wedding and stuff like that. And
Shout out to Toya.
she put me on, and she during the wedding she would check on me occasionally, make sure I was good, and I was actually really good.
Toya?
You know,
Toya?
I mean, who's Toya? Like,
Oh, I'm just saying. I don't know.
yeah. So, shout out to my good friend. She, like I said, she made sure I was good, and it was different though, because usually a lot of times when I work and I DJ, my lady with me,
Mm-hmm.
and she helps out with a lot, but she be like all right, like that's my breath of fresh air while I'm working, and I start to get stressed. So she wasn't there, so that was a little different, and sometimes I forget stuff, so sometimes I look at her like, yo, did I play? And even though like I got it on the screen or whatever, it's just like, did I play?
No
Are
doubt.
you sure? And then she helped me out. She wasn't there, so that was a different vibe when she wasn't. But I still made it through, and I did good. I actually made some connections. Like I said, I had a dude, told me I wasn't good, but it's like, bro, I'm going by the script that was given for these people wedding. So after we got past that script, that's when I started cooking and doing my thing. You feel me? So
No, man, I'm glad that you were able to, live out, a piece of this entrepreneurship journey that we're going on, and
mhm.
continuing to push that forward for yourself. Because I think some of the stuff that we're going to talk about tonight is simply about, why other than, a passion does a man have to go out and try to make a side income? Why do you need that? And that's, I think that's a little piece of maybe something we'll discuss tonight. But nevertheless, on why you have to do it, I'm proud of you because you my man's, and I've seen you work at perfecting this craft, and taking it seriously,
Yeah,
and making the
appreciate
purchases that are necessary. And so, for anybody out there with a dream, don't let nobody tell you can't. Grind at it,
that's all we got
grind
is a
at it.
dollar in the dream.
That's it, grind at it. And so, shout out to my
Yeah,
brother, and shout out to Toy. Shout out to Toya. I'm not sure if that's Toya, but shout out to Toya.
I don't know what that means. You saying Toya, like that's neither here nor there. Like so, like that's weird. Don't make it weird, bro.
I'm just saying, when black people say a name twice, then never mind. Go ahead,
No,
bro.
I don't. I
All
don't know
right,
what that
all
means.
right, fine,
It's no one
fine.
you've ever met.
Then no one knows nothing. Then we don't
I
know.
mean,
Moving
it's
on.
no one you've ever met. Like you probably heard about it in passing because we're like I said we're good friends. But other than that, it's just
Because
I
we're
don't know
good
what that
friends.
means.
You're right. You're right. You're right. All right.
Like,
Go ahead, gang.
you
Go
got any
ahead.
shout outs, bro?
Yo, shout out to Coach Prime for taking that shit on the chin like a man.
That's a
I
fact.
gotta respect it, and I know, we gonna stomp y'all in a couple days,
We
but
on y'all ass this week. I wasn't even gonna bring it up,
how you
but
chat? Don't chat.
we
Don't
on
chat,
y'all
because you gonna
ass
look
this
crazy.
week.
If you chat this week, I'm gonna make you look crazy next week. Don't chat. Just let me.
I'm
This
not
is my
chatting. I'm just
shout out.
saying
All
we
right.
come to play
All
ball.
right. Come and play ball, but just relax.
I am
Relax.
relaxed. I'm very calm.
Relax.
You feel me? I
It's
should turn down the lights in this
it
moment.
was
I'm
like
chilling.
40-7. Y'all just
42,
relax.
42-6.
All
I know what the
right, but
score was.
let me just show my
Oh, I'm making it personal
condolence.
now.
Yeah, don't make it personal. It's not personal. This is
Go
not personal.
ahead. Go
But
ahead.
I
Give,
want
give
to
my
shout
coach a
out to
shout out.
Coach Prime because people, when you're a man in the arena and people want you to lose, which this man has overcome in his life, like that's his journey in life, right? Being the best, one of the best athletes in the country since he was old enough to be considered. He was one of the best
Facts.
athletes in the country. And so now that he's a coach, and anybody who's a real athlete know coaches coach and players play. And so his
Facts.
ability to impact the game is monumental, but it's not, it can't overcome people like certain programs that may have been recruiting for a long time, coaches, right? People got to remember Deion's building something brand new. And so what he's done so far, and making people, like he says, believe is phenomenal. So I'm gonna always be a Coach Prime supporter.
Facts.
And
Would you say he's
yeah,
for the culture?
absolutely for the culture.
Absolutely for the culture. So yeah, now shout out to Coach Brown. As we always give a shout out to
And good for the culture, because
yeah, because
let's
he
be
does it
clear,
the right way.
because
He
everything
does
that's
it the right way.
for the culture is not necessarily always good for
No,
the
he
culture.
definitely does it the right way. He does it with class and with a touch of prime, as we call it, prime effect. So no, he's for sure good for the culture.
Good
He
for the
does it good
culture.
for the
Good
culture.
brother,
But
no doubt,
one I had another. I always give a shout out to the We Ain't Done podcast.
no doubt.
Just because that's one of the podcasts I listen to on a regular. And
Mad
they family.
mad
Um,
love, baby.
Ali, I heard you, bro, on the podcast. You just didn't say it right. You were saying, "Oh, my friends are hoes," and I ain't got no problem with it. The phrase is, "We don't hoe hate." That's all you
That's
got to
right.
say.
Yeah,
That,
we don't
that
hold
that's gonna
hate.
cover it all. We don't hoe
We don't
hate, and
hold hate.
you seem to be a brother that subscribed to We Don't Hoe Hate. So that's just how you do it, my guy.
Tap
So
in, tap in. We're gonna tap in with that. The
yeah,
We Ain't Done
yeah,
podcast.
we gonna link. We
Tap
gonna
in.
link with the
It's
one
gonna be
day,
a
and
thing.
you know, there you
It's
go.
gonna be a
So
movie.
shout out to
Um,
them
and shout out to
and
Primetime Foe, forever in the family now. So shout out to Primetime
oh
Foe.
yeah,
Appreciate you,
phone. Yeah,
trusting
man.
us with your journey, and we're looking forward to growing, your brand alongside of our brand, and teaming up and making something powerful that our community and culture could get behind.
That's the homie right there. Shout out to phone, man. Yeah, we gonna do this together. We gonna do it big. Watch, I'm
No
telling
doubt.
y'all.
On
So
it.
yeah, that's our shout outs though. Like I said, I don't. That's pretty much my shout outs, man. Yo, y'all keep doing what y'all
Shout
doing.
out
All the people that got the
Coco
shout out,
Jones.
y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep grinding.
Shout out Coco Jones again because.
Why are we shouting out Coco Jones?
Why not? Shout out Coco Jones again because
Is there a particular reason you're saying shout out Coco Jones? Are you
she.
hoping she hears this and she gives you a call?
I'm just saying she's a brilliant vocalist, and I feel like
How
she
many
don't get
Coco?
her just due. So
How many Coco Jones songs you know?
I know a lot. I don't need to. I
Which
don't.
ones?
I'm not gonna divulge my Coco Jones catalog theology here with you,
Sing
because
me a bar of Coco
because
Jones.
your energy doesn't seem to be one of love,
No,
and
I love Coco
I
Jones.
don't
That's the
like I don't
crazy part.
like that. I don't like that. I
As a
don't like
DJ,
that.
I will drop Coco Jones joint in a minute,
All right,
and have
well,
a
don't.
whole party
Well,
singing with it. So
I'm not gonna know
I'm
the
just
joints.
asking.
All
I'm
right.
just asking. What was it? Where was the shout out from?
I'm just, you shout out brilliant vocalists from time to time. That's what the shout out section of the show is about, right? Where we shout out people that are brilliant at what they do, right?
But we also explain why. But okay,
I
cool.
just
Shout out Coco Jones.
explained it why, right? She's a
Shout out,
brilliant vocalist.
shout out Coco Jones.
How much pressure are you trying to put on this black woman?
I'm not trying to put any pressure on it. Shout out
What the
Coco
hell is your
Jones.
problem?
You know, come join the show one day. I know
I would love it.
yeah.
I would
So
love
shout out
it.
Coco Jones.
I would love it. Pull up.
Give us a call.
Go ahead. No.
Now your people call our people, our people call your people. Somebody gonna call somebody.
Where we starting this up?
Nah, what we came to talk about? It's your favorite time of year, favorite season, stuff like that. We talking about the election. We live in the greatest country in the world, so
It's my favorite.
we talking about election. You sent me a few things. You got anything you want to jump off about?
I'm gonna say that I don't have nothing particular that I was gonna jump off about, but I think what I've been sending you just on some, because I think a lot of people will have me pegged as this anti-politician person, and that kind of is the narrative. But I think I would like to assuage or move that a little bit, right?
Are you not? Are you
No, so
anti-politician or are you anti-system?
I'm anti-system, which makes me anti-politician.
Okay, so you are anti-politician. Copy. Go ahead. Carry on.
Which is okay. Anyway, I think that some of the things I've been sending you and what I've been trying to draw your attention to, what I feel like you don't seem to quite understand is these people are playing in all of our faces and using celebrities to do so. And at this time of the year, it feels like people just be like, "Oh no, Quavo at the White. Why wouldn't Quavo be at the White House?" Let's be clear. I love Quavo. I love the Migos, Offset, R.I.P. to Takeoff. That is tragic and that is sad. What does Quavo really know about policy and changing? He doesn't even live the regular constituent's life.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're going to talk to him to get his perspective about, hey, what's going on in the world and do you have the pulse? He doesn't have the pulse because he's not of us anymore. Quavo is of the culture, but the sector he's a part of now is not one that I want a Kamala or a Joe Biden or the policymakers listening to, because he's not of it. He doesn't understand it the way myself or you would understand it at this point.
But he may not be of it anymore, but he's from it.
Okay.
So he may understand what's going on and what needs to be done or what needs to change. So
yeah. But tell me this: is he picked if Takeoff is still alive?
You said what? What was your question?
Is he picked to sit with our vice president as he did to launch her whatever gun reform thing?
Oh, yeah,
which we can get into the gun reform.
You did say it's
we can get it. We can get into the gun reform thing.
Mm-hmm.
But is Quavo sitting with a photo op with our vice president if Takeoff is still alive?
It's Quavo. I don't know. Maybe not. You know, it's a good. I mean, granted, like I said, they're still politicians, so they still have to draw in your vote. So yes, you know, one of the a big
It's part of
a
the problem
big
right there.
person
It's
a
part of
big
the problem
person
right
in our
there.
culture was lost to gun violence, and you know, his close brother or friend or you know, yeah, let's get him so he can speak on this and you know get votes. I mean,
You cool with that?
so here's what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead. Tell me what you're gonna say.
Here's what I'm gonna
Go ahead.
say.
Tell me what you're gonna say.
Chill out.
Go ahead. Give it to me.
I understand that it's definitely a game that's being played.
Thank you. Because people act like I'm crazy if I say that. If I say
No.
they are playing a game on you, people are like, no, she genuinely cares about gun rights.
So
No way.
and here's the thing: they're only playing a game on you if you allow the game to be played
Okay,
on you.
speak on
So
it.
if you, in turn, like I said, like voting, you still got to do research, and you can only go by things like what they voted on in the past and stuff like that, and bills they may have may not introduce and stuff like that. So I mean, that you know, it only becomes a problem when we don't play the game as well. If that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense because here's what I'm going to tell you. The majority of Americans, there's a politicians know that,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there are some that are going to do some research, but politicians know if I can put Quavo next to our vice president, there's a certain pocket of Americans that are gonna their vote will be swayed by that.
Yeah, but I
Not
don't think
because
you give us enough credit as constituents and voters, and I don't think you give us enough credit. I think you're saying the bulk of us, the majority of us, we're just going to say, "Oh, it's Quavo. I'm going to vote for her or him."
so you don't think there's a population there's not a
I think
population that
there's
will
a small
okay.
population that's probably like that, but I think there's a larger population that's saying, "Well, no, I'm gonna put the work in. I'm gonna look. I'm not just going to vote because Quavo was there." You don't feel that way?
I feel like everything is a double-edged sword, but I feel like the point is I don't really care. Like we're getting off into a tangent. I don't care who is swayed by it. Why are you putting it there to be swayed?
Because
Why
they
are
have a
you
job
being
to do.
well, no, that's not your job. That is a
They have
mistake.
a job to do. No, their job is to
Misconception.
get votes.
No.
You better call
Is
Tyrone.
it on there? Am I back?
Yeah, you back.
Okay, cool.
You haven't really left.
Misconception.
You,
All right.
you good at keep pressing that button when the call come through at the wrong time. I
Come
see. I
on.
like it.
Come on.
I like
I'm
it.
on it. You know I'm
You
doing.
know, I got
That's not
you.
the point.
You almost got me. You almost got me. Not this time.
The
Got
point
me
is
now.
there's a misconception, and I love that you just brought it up. The misconception is that you have a job to do. What is their job? Is their job to get votes? Is that their job?
I mean, their job is to get votes during the election, so
No.
they can, you
That's
know.
never their job. Ever. Never. Not one
Why?
time is that their job.
Why?
I'm going to tell you right now. Their job, and this is the problem with the two-party system, they are so enamored with going against each other that we've lost the fact of their job is to take care of us. And so now you, as a constituent, struggling, needing help, are saying, oh, their job is to get votes this season. And we're not even talking about like I'm gonna placate this shit for 4 years. No, just for the 12 to 14, 15 months. That's their
So,
job. That's
so here's
never
my
been their
question.
job ever.
Here's my question to that.
Go ahead.
If they don't get elected, can they still do the things that we need them to do?
Here's
Not saying,
here's my
not
go ahead.
saying whether they will or won't, but I'm asking if they don't get into office, into a position, can they do the things we need them to do?
That's not my point. My point would be then, what if you're not the right person for the job as a politician? Are you looking to look outside yourself and say, you know what? There's a politician over there with possible better policies that can affect positively more people. What politician is willing to fall on that sword?
I think they feel like what they have to offer is it, and they believe in it. Most of them, some of them.
Michael, this is not
Chill out.
sports.
Don't call me Michael, bro.
That is your name. But this is not football, bro. So when the D tackle's in front of you, that's your job to feel like you're the best D tackle. And you want to get on the field, right?
Yeah,
That's
but you
your
can also
job.
be honest like, nah, he probably better than me.
Ain't
Coach.
nobody does that.
You see him remember
No.
the Titans.
Erroneous.
You see him remember the Titans.
Erroneous.
They said put Petey in.
How long did
He's
that
faster
take him
than
to
me.
arrive at? How long did that take him to arrive at that? That was in the championship game when
Yeah.
that white boy said, you know what? Petey's better. I'm getting and he was getting his ass kicked.
He's getting cooked now. He was getting
That
cooked.
took the whole season for him to get to that realization. And you're right, that is a microcosm of politics. We don't have a political system working together to do what's best for the people. We have everyone saying, no, my policy's better, my policy's better, my legislation's better, my senators are better, the judges I appoint are going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
When no one is like, yo, how do we make it just better for everyone or as many people as we possibly can? Which it will pain me to say this, but there's a piece of me that does feel that Barack's energy was that. He's one man, and all right, fine, whatever. I don't give him too many passes. But his energy to me was always one of, I will listen to anyone if it's going to be the best for the country. He always gave me that I'll listen to anyone. Could he always do what he was supposed to do? Maybe not. But he's the most open-minded president I've seen in the last few decades.
Okay. I feel you. I just feel like, that we live in a society where, like, it's a pick me society. We said that last week. Pick me, pick me, pick me. So that trickles up to the politicians. Like, what gets the people going? Like, if you watch the news about it and stuff, it's the biggest thing is the black vote, the young black vote. Can we get the young black vote? So, how do you get the young black vote? Put Quavo on a commercial. Have Kerry Washington. I bet you Kerry Washington got your attention when she did that little thing. Nikki True. Nikki True got you, didn't she?
She always get my attention because I can't see her no other way than Nikki True. She's one of my favorite.
Okay, then, so
she's one of my favorite movie characters. But I think
Olivia
the point
Pope
is,
got your attention.
Yeah, but the point is,
enough to send me the article.
But the point is, why though? Why?
Because you have to do something to grab attention. It's like you have to have clickbait.
It's nonsense. No, you don't. If your stuff is good enough, you don't. I think we are going to, as the All Done podcast, the ADP, we are going to start promoting ourselves more. But I think at this grassroots level, we're not looking to sell you on a clip. It's about like, yo, me and my brother, I have an honest opinion. He has an honest opinion. No one's buying this opinion. So when I tell you politicians have a problem and I have a problem and I have an issue, it's not because someone's going to pay me to say so.
No,
you're going to get honest opinions and objective opinions.
But listen, I'm asking you this.
Go ahead.
Here's what I'm asking you.
Go right ahead.
You've coached. You're a coach, right?
I've coached. I'm not a coach anymore.
You're not a coach anymore. But once you're a coach, you're always a coach.
Okay, cool.
So with that being said, have you ever seen a kid, a player, an athlete that don't pass the eye test, but is really a dog? Yeah. But the coaches over you might not be able to see that dog because they don't pass the eye test.
Absolutely.
So you're screaming like, nah, he's the kid, and they're like, nah, I'm like, nah, I don't see it.
Sure.
Same thing with our politicians. So at some point, they got to pass that eye test just to get, people to pay attention to them. So it might take an offset. It might take a.
But there's no con. There's no con with the kid on the field. I don't respect that analogy because the kid on the field is his intentions to play football and want to start are genuine. I don't know that when Kamala brings Quavo or Kerry is promoting it. Or, pick the celebrity because, voter registration was not too long ago. Yeah, pick the celebrity. Fair. These people are not, I don't believe that their intentions are pure. I think it's, we're at this point in the cycle again, is what I'm getting.
So whose intentions aren't pure? The celebrity who's doing the commercials or the ads or the politician who's getting to do it?
I think both of them could be a little nefarious, but I think the politician is super nefarious. I don't believe that Kamala Harris gives a goddamn about Takeoff being murdered to senseless gun violence. I do not think that is a priority.
It sells. It sells. It gets attention because now you get Quavo talking about it.
Thank you. That's my only point.
No, that's a valid point. But yeah.
And I'm not mad at. Let's be clear. Also, I'm not mad at politicians, and I've never been. I'm not mad at them for doing what you would call is their job. But I am mad at us for continuously saying, oh man, she really does care about gun control and gun violence. Y'all are not about
and that's the thing. I'm not gonna say these politicians don't necessarily care about gun control and gun violence. I don't think it's not that they don't care, but sometimes they miss the mark, but sometimes they gotta find a way to show that to make us believe, oh yeah, they care.
Do you think these Do you think Caucasian folks in America are giving up their guns?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what are we really talking about right now?
I'm just, you're saying that's a different argument. You're saying I
That's
don't
the
think they
same
care.
argument. It's
No,
the
you're
same
saying I
argument.
don't think they care. I'm not saying I
They
don't think
they
they
don't
care.
they don't they don't
You
care. They care about what
just
I
saying
just they care about what
they
I
fight the
just
losing
said.
battle.
They care about what I just said. It's not about our culture murdering each other,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because our culture is inflicted by hundreds of years of white supremacy racism, and that is played out in our communities and our environments.
Right.
That's not the she put him in the mix because it's a branch and a window to open up to get to what? Gun legislation, to take guns from Americans. And
I don't. That's a
Americans
whole
aren't
nother
giving you
conversation.
Americans aren't
That's a whole
giving you
nother
the
conversation.
guns.
Because I don't think the end goal is to take guns away from Americans.
Of course
But
it is. It's always been that way.
I don't think that's the fight. But we'll get to that on a
What
later
is the
conversation.
fight then?
No, we'll
Tell
talk
me.
about that on a later
All right, go
conversation.
ahead. You're right. It
So
was right. Gun control conversation podcast topic. Pin it.
panic, boom, gun control. I just typed it. Um, yeah. So well, the question becomes: Are you going to vote? Are you not going to vote in the
We're
next election?
we're not there yet. Please, all subscribing members of the ADP, please continue to tune into our programming so that you can understand my stance on voting as we come closer to that
Is it important to vote?
date.
Is it important to be abreast on what's going on with
I
our
believe
political
voting
system
is going to be a bigger topic, and I think honestly,
for us?
yeah, and I think since you're talking about people, marketing, and we're marketing, we're trying to sell a brand here. So in the spirit of marketing,
In the spirit of
we're gonna
marketing,
we're gonna create a Patreon and some pay for play, some pay for video type thing, and I think my take on voting and will I be voting in this year, especially at this certain time and place, right, with the election right on the corner.
right
I
on the
think that
corner.
might be the start of our pay to play type
So, do
situation.
you believe our current leadership? Do you believe they've done positive things? Yes or no?
They've done positive things. Sure, I
Yeah.
mentioned one last episode, right? They're trying to keep certain medication prices down for elders, right? Diabetes medicine, insulin. The insulin crisis was a big thing. I think they've said they put a cap on it. We'll see how it all plays out because legislation is legislation. I think some people have gotten their student loans forgiven.
Yeah.
Um, we'll see, right? We'll see how that plays out. I think there's still a lot of other issues that they haven't addressed. There's too much that they haven't done to make a major impact in 4 years. And I don't want to hear, and maybe I'm not the regular American. I don't want to hear you didn't have enough seats. You didn't have enough Congress. You don't have enough people here. We need more people voted here. You are in a position to affect change. And if what you have for me is a piece of student loans and old people getting capped medical expenses, I got to question that. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're gonna be old one day. You're gonna need these medicines. Speaking of the government, though, have you seen some politicians admitting that the federal government and the state government owe HBCUs billions of dollars?
Yeah, so there's been lawsuits that's been done, and I've also heard some political shills try to even, frame that as our reparations. So, I mean, where you want me to,
I don't really think it'd be our reparations.
where would you like for
That's
me to
crazy.
jump off on that?
I
Yes,
do.
to answer your question directly, yes, I've heard this. Yeah,
Do you think they'll ever see this? I remember a while ago you weren't really a proponent of HBCUs. You really wasn't feeling that idea. You was
I
just
feel
like,
like
nah.
it's not even a while ago. I feel like
No,
when
I remember. I remember the conversation vividly. He was like, "No, HBCUs is just it's federally funded and this
what
that and the
is for
third. You just
what
wasn't
is
fucking with HBCUs."
not this,
And
that, and the third.
yeah, now you was going crazy on me. You was just like, "Well, nah, because the population is this that," and I'm like, "Yo,
Uh-huh.
nah."
Uh-huh.
Nah, I had to break it down for you. We learned, we grew from that conversation and stuff
We
like that.
really
But
did because we were talking about HBCUs turning from predominantly Black American and maybe even some of them turning white, right? This is the conversation you're referring to?
no, I don't think that was a conversation we were referring to. You were saying pretty much it wasn't a need for them and this, that, and third. But
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's in the same vein as I feel as education. And I'm not gonna shit on my profession because I work in higher education. I believe that there is a
Oh, you
there is a
part of the man.
benefit to it. Come on now.
Man, you part of the
Again, we can get
system.
into that. That might be a different
You
episode.
part of the system,
We can get
and
into that.
I know it.
All right, fine. We can
No,
get
we ain't
into
gotta get
that.
into that. You know, you just perpetuating the cycle. I ain't mad at you,
Okay,
brother.
listen to me.
Prosperity Jones might not like it, but I ain't mad at you, brother.
Now, shout out to that old brother. He'll make an appearance here shortly. Shout out to that old brother. But what I would say to those early critiques, and I still feel a lot of those same ways, is HBCUs is fine. And when I look at HBCUs, a lot of people want to differentiate them from PWIs and other colleges in the country. Colleges in the country have a problem right now. They have many. One of them are, and as a person from the inside, yeah, I work on the inside because I'm trying to fix it. I want to give people the honesty and the game, and our children the game and the honesty.
You've done a good job of that. I will give you.
Listen, man, I'm good at my job. But the point I'm saying on this podcast is to say, I want us to understand, and our politicians, what are you going to do with all the people who are sociology communications majors who can only make $40,000 a year, but went to an HBCU and they got charged $80,000 a year? We have a problem. And I don't know. It's not conspiracy. You have a lot of people that are graduating from colleges all over our country with useless degrees, and they're not useless because these kids are not smart and didn't work to become intelligent professionals. They're useless because the job market created by your politicians is not good enough for them. You haven't created the economic environment where they can take that degree that you told them over and over and over again that they needed, and then take it out into the world and be successful enough to live a sustainable life and pay you back. You haven't created that environment. All you've done is set up a situation where the elite can take and take and take. I'm not saying that there hasn't always been have and have-nots in capitalism. There will always be. What I feel like we're seeing now is the differential is growing between the haves and have-nots, and the haves are really starting to be like, well, you didn't figure it out. I told you what to do, right? I told you what to do. I told you to go here. I told you. What happened? I told you. What, you didn't get it? Oh, that's your fault. When anyone who knows anything about history and economics, there's always going to be have and have-nots. The haves need to have a little bit more compassion to the situation. Now I'm on my soapbox.
You are on your soapbox, but yeah, we mentioned that before in our conversations. How people make it and then they act like, oh no, I made it. You better figure it out. I don't want to lay it out. So no, I agree. I agree. And I think we're entering an era where people are starting to see that. Like, well, no, I don't necessarily need that degree to make money, and I can do it this way, that way.
No, I don't necessarily like that though, because that's what I'm saying.
What I was about to say was, I'm not knocking someone for going to get their degree, because a lot of people get their degree and work in their field and do well. Just that'll be for my wrap up, I guess, what I'm about to say. So
yeah, so the education thing, I before we leave it and you kind of segue off to the next topic, I'm not saying education is bad. I'm saying the politicians we all hold so near and dear, the politicians who for the next 12 months are going to be showing you pictures of themselves. If you're a Westerner, they're going to be in cow boots. If you like to scuba dive, they're going to have scuba diving gear on. If you like to hunt, they're going to have rifles. So for the politicians that are going to be placating to your hobbies over the next 15 to 18 months, I think you need to ask real questions of them. And it's not divisive and you're not being mean, but they have a job to do as well. And if we're not holding them, the constituency is not holding them to that job, then okay, cool. We're gonna get another 4 years of Joe Biden who doesn't know who LL Cool J is.
What do you go cool?
I'm not getting into it. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about.
It sounded good before he tried to say his name.
No, it was ridiculous. It sounded ridiculous up to that point as well. He called him a boy. Yeah, it was on some plantation shit. He was on some like.
I think he was trying to say it like we say, but then realize this ain't it.
It was bad.
Like yo, man, boy, you wild.
It was bad.
Like, you tried to do that.
It was bad. He started talking about that boy's arms is as big as my legs. Like, whoa, this is not some slave auction. You looking at this man's body, trying to measure him. Like, come on, bro. This is bad.
Uncle Joe, you missed this on that one, bro.
All bad.
You missed it.
And throughout this presidency, there have been several just like, what? What? What are you talking about? What are you saying? What are you trying to get at? Okay.
Uncle Joe be missing the mark somewhere. I blame his staff. Y'all can't let that man just go off on a
I
tangent and
blame
start.
us. He's 100,000 years old. What is he doing in office? He's
Do you think
100,000 years old.
do you think the age for presidency should be lowered?
I'm not going to say that. Here's my idea, because we give solutions. I will say, fine, if you want these old white men, and that's not racist, that's just been what the president has been aside from Barack.
That's
Older white men, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you're going to continue the legacy of older white men, then you have to put an amendment or an addendum. Oh, now I'm saying shit.
Yeah.
An addendum in the Constitution or legislation to say that if we're going to bring a Joe Biden in, I need a 24-year-old head consultant that is Hispanic or black. I need a counterpart.
I think 24 is too young.
What? No, it's not. I would say it's
I'm
not
35,
too young.
so holler at me. I'll work up in the White House.
No. Because 30s, we are still. Then I would say give him 2 consultants. Give him a consultant every decade. But the fact that right now he's just sitting up there and he's
making
talking about,
shit up.
Yeah, he's just up there, LL Cool Boy J, like he's saying whatever. He's literally just saying whatever.
He's just saying shit.
He's just saying shit.
Hey, sit down like the drunk uncle at the family.
Yeah.
So
you gotta have somebody with some sort of youth that understands, hey Joe, we don't really care about you commemorating hip hop because we know deep down, bro, you don't give a fuck about hip hop. We don't really care about you commemorating. You know what we do care about? Hey man, I'm about to get out of school at this institution that cost me $80,000 and I'm $80,000 in debt to go into, but now this society is trying to give me a job that's gonna make 33,000. And that's just not going to cut it. I need help. I'm going to need help with fixing this. How do I fix it, Joe? Well, you got to listen to LL Boy. Okay, well, yeah, Uncle Joe. You got to listen to LL Boy Cool J, and you can listen to,
and Offset.
I don't know.
Offset,
Mama said knock you out, and then you're going to figure it out.
It's a good song. But no, that's a fact. No, you're not far off base with what you're saying. I think. I don't necessarily think the age should be lowered to become president, but I think it should be a cap to how old you can be to become president. Because at some point, like I said, as you know, older people sometimes just be out of touch. They just be saying stuff.
And we've had that for how many years? I mean, he's the 46th president, maybe? We're at 46th? And so we haven't learned.
These people are getting in office and no longer representing, as you say, the constituency. They're not representing the mass. They're representing the very few.
You starting to talk that talk. You better be careful.
They're representing the minority rather than the majority. And I don't mean minority by, people of color. I mean minority by, like, the wealthy.
People who need to be helped.
Yeah, exactly. So, they're helping the minority rather than the majority. And that's not new. That's not new. That's not new at all. Now we need. You're right. So I think we're gonna get an older white guy to be president. Your staff needs to be somebody that's in touch with what's going on with the majority of the constituency.
Do you got a comment in there?
Yeah, I got a comment. I'm about to read it. I can't scroll up and down, but it says they should get an evaluation of their health also before being allowed to run. I think they do. I think they get extensive health, like
they do.
Extensive physicals and things like that. So I don't think. There goes another comment. Biden definitely has early signs of dementia. I don't even know.
I didn't say that. That was a comment, by the way.
That was
I didn't
comment.
say that. That was a comment.
I
don't disagree or agree, but I didn't say it.
And it could be, but I think, like I said, old people forget stuff sometimes. So
but then if that's your point, then you can't be like, you should be president, right?
No, that's a fact. That's what I said. Okay. What I just say. I don't necessarily think they should lower the age, but they should put a cap on the age you can run.
So if that's my point, since you asked me earlier about, are you going to vote? Are you an advocate of voting? Just in this last 10 minutes of conversation, if a person heard what we just said and decided based off that, like, I don't want to vote for some old white man who's possibly struggling with a mental illness. I'm tired of the two-party party system. These people never really address me and the struggles that I have. So if I just heard us talk, why would I want to, bro? Why would I want to vote? I'm not saying vote or don't vote. I think, again, that might be on our Patreon at a later date. We're going to get into my strategies on voting and whether I'm going to be for it or not for it in 2024. But just off the simple things that we've just talked about, can you and other people understand as an American, man, maybe I kind of might want to pause because it doesn't seem to be working. This motherfucker can't pronounce LL Cool J. I don't know. It might not.
I mean, he doesn't listen to him. Like, yeah, come on.
So that's even worse. Why are you playing? Why are you playing?
Sexy Red there. He could have said Sexy Red.
Lord Jesus. Bro, I think they were given hip hop honor, so I think it was LL Cool J and MC Lyte.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely hip hop honors.
He was addressing our legends, and it was borderline disrespectful.
It was painful.
Yeah. I would say disrespectful. I would say disrespectful to those legends who helped create a culture that helped raise me and you. For this dude to get up there and just totally butcher. Totally butcher.
2 letters, the word cool, and 1 more letter.
Couldn't do it. Called him boy. Told him that boy's got some big old arms and that big old
Where's Joe Biden from?
I don't know. Maybe Ohio. I don't know. I'm sorry, Ohio. Don't take it. Because Ohio, we got listeners.
That's not your fault because he's from somewhere.
Listen, man, I'm not. It's my fault because I know there are certain people who don't want to claim him at this point. Like this is not cool, and I'm not being divisive or anti-American if I say, yo, I don't want any more elderly people that can't say LL Cool J or elderly people that falling off bikes. The man's a mess. He's a mess. He's a menace. He's a menace.
No, Uncle Joe not a menace.
He's a menace, and he holds the highest office in the land.
Yo, all right, I'm gonna roll on because we've been on this too long. I'm roll on to the next conversation.
Yeah, man. And for those, I know I got a lot of friends, particularly our OG, because I'll give Obama shit, but in the last decade, Obama, you are the one. If we're comparing Obama to Trump and Biden, Obama, you are the Jedi, bro. The Force is with you, my guy, because you were leaps and bounds ahead of those two gentlemen. Leaps and bounds.
Oh, he's from Pennsylvania.
Whatever. Who cares?
That's
not even better. That's not better. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Pennsylvania,
yeah, that's not better.
He's from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Good Lord, that's not better.
I'm gonna skip one topic and I'm gonna go to another one.
Go ahead.
Just because of time or whatever.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up eventually.
One of them affects me. Well, not me directly, but you know. I don't know if anybody's seen the 60-minute special on Coach Prime because we mentioned Coach Prime earlier.
Yeah, this is interesting. I wanted to hear your take on why you wanted to talk about this.
Because of the overlapping and the over. I forgot the word I was going to say MS moment, but so the overarching point of it. So they did a 60-minute special on Coach Prime and him being in Colorado. Now they said he said some unflattering things. They said he said some stuff like, like Jackson had abandoned houses and stuff like that, and whereas Colorado is this, that, and third, which the issue is that it isn't a lie, but the problem becomes this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come to, or any city, because it's not just particular to Jackson, because every city has their highs and lows for sure.
I think he was talking about black people when he was referring to this, but go ahead.
Who?
Prime was.
He was talking about the area of Jackson.
Well, Jackson's are predominantly what? Black,
yeah. But don't compare one city's best area and then go to another city and compare their worst. Because like I said, he said, at Jackson State, this is that happened. And granted, Jackson State, like a lot of HBCUs, is slap dead in the middle of the hood.
Yeah, I got friends at Howard, man, and you know the things that come across the ticker about Howard.
Yeah, so and they do that, and then like I said, it goes back to why we needed HBCUs to begin with. So that's why they're kind of in the middle of certain areas. I think that's the debate we was having before, why HBCUs was around to begin with. But
well, they were around because Because Caucasians didn't want Negroes in their institutions. That's why HBCUs were created.
Yeah, but at the time, that wasn't your energy. But we'll get back to that in a
That
minute.
was my energy. Where my energy now in 2023 is that because they were for us to start doesn't mean they're for us now. A people who are unwilling to change are people who are willing to fail. So if you're
Okay.
not willing to adjust the strategy, yeah. There were some white folks that built HBCUs for the coloreds coming out of slavery, if I'm not mistaken, because they didn't want us going to their institutions. Did they know that we
I don't
would?
think that's how that works, but we will do
Well,
research.
give it to me.
We'll
Tell
come
me
back.
how you think it
No, because
works.
that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Okay,
That's not
cool.
what I'm here to talk about.
Cool.
But back at Prime in the 60-minute
Yeah, problem.
documentary, like I said,
Mhm.
granted, Coach Prime did amazing things while he was here, brought light to a lot of things. But I seen a reporter say like this. He's like, don't compare our worst to another place's best. Once again, a lot of cities have their ups and downs. Every city's have their ups and downs. And to say, well, Colorado is, because I know people from that area, Boulder, Denver, Aurora area, and they give it up crazy there too.
I mean, the meth epidemic is rampant right now, and
I
so
didn't hear what you said.
I said the meth epidemic is rampant
The
right
meth
now,
epidemic,
and so
the Kia
I'm not.
Boys. I don't know if you've heard of the Kia Boys and seen the Kia Boys. They
I'm aware.
wild.
I'm aware.
So yeah, and it's crazy because it tends to happen a lot, and it tends to happen, and then they use it for the like conversation of, oh, it's black on black crime.
Sure.
And one thing I've learned, and somebody just sent me a video. I hate that they did. It was like somebody being pretty much executed in the car. And one thing I've learned
That
is
shit
a
never
lot of
comes
times, and not
across my
all,
phone.
because there's plenty of time there's innocent victims,
Sure.
and this is not a rationale like oh well it's cool, but a lot of times when these things happen, it's people that's also involved in a certain lifestyle. Not saying they
Sure.
deserve to go, not to saying oh well now they deserve to die. It don't matter. But what I'm saying is, so to put a certain world and then say, oh, well, it's black on black crime. Oh, well, no, the city of Jackson is horrible. That's a terrible thing to do, to put it on the whole city of Jackson where all these cities have their ups and downs. I want to say, I forgot who was it. What comedian? It might have been Cat Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Was talking about the White House.
Yeah, around the White House. I heard the areas around the White House are
It's
a little
pretty crazy,
rambunctious.
So everybody has their ups and downs, and it's done a lot, and that's what becomes the issue.
I would say that it's not I didn't get that from them. I got that to say he was talking about the resources. So he was talking about simply the resources that he's seeing being given where he's at now based off where he came from. And he could see that there's a difference. So the reaction to the people and how they react to having minimal resources is different. And so that's what I got out of him talking about the difference in where he came from and where he's at now. And if that's what he was saying, I would be very inclined to agree.
Part is I could agree that's it's a good chance that's where he came from, whether it came out that way or not.
Yeah.
Being that he also he admits, he says it a lot that he's from poor area, growing up, this, that, and the third. It's just, but you also got to know when you watch specials like 60 Minutes and things of that nature, they're going to twist it to whichever way they want. And it's
Yeah,
going to
but
look a certain way.
he's got to say his truth
So
because those who are supposed to get it.
That's fine. But they're going to come and find all the
dilapidated.
I know what the word is. It's just my tongue twister for me.
Get
Dilapidated
it
houses
together.
and stuff like that. And people are thinking, oh my God, Jackson is just the worst. Like, I live in Jackson, bro. My house is pretty nice. Pretty nice fucking house.
But it's some shit out there.
I mean, yeah, but so you could say the same thing about Brentwood. You feel me? Like, but there's some nice areas in Brentwood too as well. So, there's
are they calling it Brentwood? Where? Tell me where.
I'm just saying where we lived wasn't the same as
Regis,
let's say Regis Park.
Okay, I know you
Regis Park. Exactly.
Or maybe where Aaron lived. They called it Acorn. Was it Acorn? I forgot what the project was called where Aaron lived.
I don't think the Hemlock Projects. I don't know.
Was it called Hemlock Projects? I was a project.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So exactly, but you go to Oak Ridge, which is Brentwood
It's
Bayshore
not
area. It was decent,
Brentwood. That is not
but
Brentwood. Don't do that.
see, and that's a whole other
It
conversation because he
is.
was still a part of Brentwood School District.
But the
Brentwood
point
picked up over there for a
is,
minute.
they cut
He
the
was living
line
in Brentwood.
though.
So in
But
that
they
case,
cut that
technically, we
line
was in
though.
Bayshore, but we
No, we
still,
was not. We was
yeah,
in Brentwood,
our
bro.
address was our Bayshore
No, it
address.
wasn't, bro.
God,
What are you talking
it
about?
was.
No, it wasn't, bro. We could. I gotta get in contact with your family still lives there. We could ask
Yeah,
them
it's a
that.
bit. I know I can tell you the zip code and everything. Our address was a Bayshore address.
I gotta ask him because mine wasn't. Mine was Brentwood all the way, and I lived down the block.
What was your zip code?
We was 11706.
That's Bayshore. Brentwood is 11717.
No, now it might be.
No, it's been that way.
No, they just change. They change the zip codes every 6 years.
I'm telling you, it was a Bayshore address.
Well, if you're wrong, I'm gonna get up here next week and be like, you bullshitting. But
Nah,
maybe
I
you
was because
might be right.
I remember I was in church and I had to do something.
Now you
I,
might be right. It says cities Bayshore, North Bayshore,
oh, I know I was
Islip.
right. I wasn't guessing. That wasn't something I was guessing.
No, you might be guessing, nigga. Shut
No,
up.
I wasn't guessing. Either
Baywood,
way,
West Islip.
that's neither here nor there. We lived in the Brentwood Bayshore area,
I'm about
and
to say that's tough because the mall wasn't so far, and I would say the mall was definitely Bayshore.
the mall was Bayshore. We lived in
Mm-hmm.
Bayshore. I think once we crossed over like Candlewood, that was Brentwood.
Yeah, I can't call it.
Yeah,
The point is, I mean, would you
anyway,
say you grew up? Would you say you grew up in Bayshore or Brentwood?
I would say I grew up in Brentwood.
Yeah, because that's where we were.
Everything we did, and same thing with like I said, Oak Ridge. It was Bayshore technically,
Nah,
but
but Oak Ridge across the ways,
that it
bro,
was
across
right.
the ways.
It was across a park from Hemlock Park, which was the Brentwood school.
I don't know.
The
We'll agree
blue
to
court was
disagree.
right around the corner from Hemlock Park. He went to West. He went to West. He went to the ninth grade center. He went to Brentwood.
He
Either
did.
way, that's neither here nor there. Man, I don't know. We got off on a tangent about where we from and how we live, and that's not the point. So, how you want to wrap this up?
How do I want to wrap this up? That's a good question. I would say for my wrap up tonight, the elections are coming, and rock with us if you want honest opinions about. I mean, not just about politics, but about life. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've lived it. From every facet, kicked out of this, kicked out of that, had to grind, come back here. My man's been medically sick, right? We've done a lot of things, right? The collective experience of this podcast is extremely vast, and so. If you want some honest opinions about two brothers just living life and going through real experiences, tap in with us.
No, that's a fact. That's a good wrap up. I'm gonna wrap it up on something I was saying earlier, as far as the guy being telling me I wasn't good. Hey, sometimes take criticism and just work and get better. If somebody tell you you're not good, say, all right, I got to get better. It's not always, oh, he hating. I mean, he was hating, but I took it as, hey, you know what? I got to be better tonight. So let's me work.
That hit my brother in the heart. What you said?
No, crazy part is it didn't hit me hard. That's the crazy part. It didn't hit me. I was kind of like, okay,
You're
somebody else.
so still TJ from recess.
No. Somebody else actually told me he said it, and they was like, oh, I defended you, blah blah blah. And I was just like, yeah, you didn't have to. Like, it's cool.
But my brother has that personality, and so like,
personality is that?
You like to be liked.
I'm a DJ. I need to be liked. That's how I make my money.
There
Like,
you know.
I do. Like, if people don't like me when I'm DJing, then what? I'm not gonna get.
That don't matter at all.
Nah,
but that's your person. No, bro,
matter.
we've been fighting about this since we was 10 years old. You like
those moments, but that's not what that moment was, bro. I mean, what I'm saying, like, don't always take it as, oh, they hate it. Nah, work on it. Yeah, keep working at your craft or whatever it is, and take that, eat it, and like, I bet. See me next time.
And the check, and then be clear. I want to add on to my brother's situation here. The check's cleared. Did the check clear? Yeah. So we gotta. I think a lot of us gotta get away from. I think the politician thing. I do want to say this. This veers back into the politics thing. It's like the politicians' checks are clearing. So y'all don't have to be so quick to defend them if we criticize them.
Oh, yeah, they
They're
paid
okay.
already. They
Yeah,
paid already.
it's good. The money's in the
They
account.
paid.
It's good. It's good. Trust me. It's all
Yeah.
right. So if I tell you Kamala Harris ain't giving us enough, or Biden needs to be doing more, or we need a more than a two-party system, yo, it's fine. These people are good. They're good.
Yeah, they're good money. That's a fact. They're good money.
Anything else that you'd like to say to the audience before we get up out of here?
Nah, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all all tuning in.
No
Fuck
doubt, man. Yo, catch us on DSPs.
What's
Yeah,
DSPs?
the digital streaming platforms.
Facts.
Check.
Facts.
Catch us on the DSPs. Yo,
Don't forget to
Apple,
tune into,
Spotify.
don't forget to tune into the Primetime Folk Show. She part of the gang now.
Yeah, it should be a new episode for Primetime Fold coming up here shortly. I'm gonna tap in and we'll
Yeah.
get that up on
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
streaming platforms as well. But on that note, man.
Anything you want us to talk
Oh,
about, holler at us. Shoot us
yeah,
an inbox. Yeah,
no
holler
doubt.
at us.
Yeah,
If you
things you
want us to
like.
join your podcast, we ain't done. First of all, wait, before we ain't done. We come to y'all podcast, but
Yeah, we are.
y'all an issues, bro. I peeped it the other day, and it's wide, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I love y'all. I
No,
love y'all.
shout out to y'all for keeping the conversations going.
That's a fact.
Did you see? Oh, I meant to ask you. Did you see Usher on the Breakfast Club? He was talking about Kiki's situation.
I didn't. I didn't. We're gonna have to have a whole show
Next
about that.
week.
Usher
Yeah,
gonna be at the
next
Super
week.
Bowl.
Yo, shout out to there's a shout out. Shout out to Usher.
Shout out to Usher. Usher, baby.
Usher, baby. Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. And on that note, this podcast is all done.
All done. Peace, love.
Next week, family.